On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, Kenobi.
It's so dark, so crime riddled, so much to talk about.
It's the Bantha Milk Podcast. Yeah! Pour a glass of that blue milk, we know it's gonna last. With Rob and James behind the controls, discussing Jedi, Sith, and all the plot holes. Every week we're back, can't be denied. Got the hot takes flowing and the canon clarified.
Yeah. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We're going to be back for the next... Yeah, for the next 4 weeks in a row. At least two of us are going to be here for 4 weeks in a row. One of us is going to be here for 3 weeks in a row.
5 weeks in a row. It's 5 weeks of episodes.
Oh,
I'm only going to
even
be here
better.
for 3.
Yeah,
maybe 4. We'll see how we feel. So
you might squeak in the 4th week there. You might not, depending on
depends how quick we want to talk.
Yeah. But yes, we are back because it is all about Maul Shadow Lord. Very exciting. Very, very awesome new show that just came out yesterday on D+. For those of you that are cool and hip like me, you call it D+. For those of you that don't know, that's Disney+. And I thought so far it was great. James and I didn't even talk about it at all. So this is the first time we're sharing any stories each other about it. And what about you, James? How'd you think so far?
Great first impression so far. Very happy with where this is going.
I agree, my friend. I agree. I have some Star Wars news before we get into it.
Exciting.
Because there is some news in and outside of the Maul universe that we need to get to, and I need to pull up. Darn it. Nope, that's not the one. Anyway, we're gonna have to, after the news, you're gonna have to go through and tell us all the shows that we need to listen to.
I got you. Yep.
You got me? Good. Okay, because I forget them all. I don't remember any of them, even the one that's, the main show that we have here on the network. I forget what that is. It's something about Mickey Mouse or something. I forget what it is.
Eyes Down.
Eyes Down. Yeah. I think it's Eyes Down. It's definitely Eyes Down. Oh, before we even get into the news, my goodness, I'm just so excited to talk about everything. Let's take another backtrack because we, of course, have to get into what we're drinking first. And I have the same thing as last time. My Langenkugels. Leinenkugels, summer shandy. I did not get out to the brewery to find something else. So I still have the same thing. So it's going to be delicious and I'm going to love it. And you have something in a cute little can there.
I do. From the small city of Hillsboro, Wisconsin. We've got Badger Sweat. It's a vanilla bean milk stout. So if you didn't know, Badgers sweat stouts. So
Badgers do sweat stouts. OJ Sands is in the chat right now, and she is not raising one, by the way, because unless she has multiple accounts, which I wouldn't put past her,
it could happen.
Awesome, that she would have multiple accounts for us. But hello, OJ Sands as well. All right, let's pop these little beers here. Your can might have a better pop than mine. Let's see.
I might win.
You might. Yep, yours had a little bit more of a pop there. I did like it. You have to tell us how a Badger Sweat tastes as I pour.
Ooh, yep.
This is just such a clear, nice yellow beer. I love it. It's so good.
It's just so good.
It's so good.
It's too cold here for it, but I like that you're going for it. So
it was cold here today as well. I'm still wearing a jacket. They tease us, oh, it's going to be warm. Nope. Then it's back to cold again and whatever. It is what it is. But cheers to you, my friend. Tell us how that Badger sweats. Can't go wrong with a summer shandy, even in fake springtime.
Fake spring, absolutely. So not as much vanilla as I expected. Still a good stout. So
there you go. I love it. A good stout. Hit us up with some more vanilla. All right.
I also have to pause you because there's a new addition in my background, and I don't know if you noticed,
Oh, the Star Wars
but
poster?
yes, Tig and I are regulars enough at our local Habitat for Humanity restore that one of the person that does like donations in the store stuff pulled it aside, was like, "You guys would probably like this more than any random we sell it to." And so we got
That's
first dibs at it.
awesome. Is it an original one or is it
I I'm gonna say yes because I have no idea and I have no idea of how to actually check for it, but
okay?
yeah, totally is. So,
Totally is. You're totally going with that. That it totally is, and I love it. I think you're totally is as well. So it looks
mhm,
just like my reproduction one, which was made off of the original one. So I think yours is original.
definitely. Yep. No
Definitely.
other explanation. So
No,
that's what
none
it
at
is.
all.
So,
That's what it is. It's got to be that. All right. So let's hit up all the shows. Let's see. We got the
oh,
ears up,
I'm here for you. Yep.
not the eyes down. It's ears up. I remember that one.
Ears up. Yep.
Then we have
You can
the
listen to the Supreme Resort.
yep.
They had an episode recently talking about celebrities in like a March Madness style bracket sort of mess. Always, you can catch up on your Marvel stuff with PewniePod. They just
Mhm.
watched the second season of Daredevil Born Again, and we're talking about new Spider-Man. Scraping the Vault out there, digging in, Buena Vista Boys, and us. And then, of course, there's the Fantasyland Draft League, um,
Yes.
which we still got at least a month until we're going to show up on there. There's going to be another one in between. So give them a good show. Good, quick listen, easy to follow along. And who doesn't love to have opinions?
I told Ryan that I think the Fantasyland Draft League is my new favorite or my favorite new show.
Hmm,
And I
hmm.
said it needs to come out more than once a month. And he said it's too much work to do it more than once a month, but he's willing to let the other hosts, and he told the other three hosts that they should have shows without him. So I think the other three hosts should get on the ball there and have some shows in between Ryan's shows as
Might be a
well.
chance.
Yeah, like 2 a month would be amazing.
Hmm,
Amazing, because I
hmm,
really like
hmm.
it. So, I definitely recommend that one. Of course, all the other shows are awesome on the network, but I'm really enjoying the Fantasyland Draft League. It is fun, and it is a different concept, than what we have listened to before. Has the music been playing
Hmm.
the whole time?
It is not.
Okay, good. Because I just saw, like, some waveforms, and
the,
I was like, "Wait a
the
minute."
panic.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, dear." All right, so now that we got through all of the important stuff, we got through all the house cleaning stuff, as the kids say these
Mhm,
days. Now
mhm.
let's hit us up with some Star Wars news here.
Star Wars news. Star Wars news. Star Wars news.
All right, that's almost like the song, One More Thing. It only has 3 words in it the entire time.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Uh, this person said, "Yes, sir, Spear." So, I don't know who it could be. I'm guessing it's maybe one of my volleyball players is chiming in
Oh,
here. So if that's it, thank you for then now they're sending us hearts also. So yes.
oh.
So there we go. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching Star Wars because of this. So that's awesome. So
Mhm,
here we go.
mhm.
We got some news for you, some recent news. One, of course, is about our new show Maul. And as we know, there's been 2 episodes that have come out right now, starting yesterday, and they have already confirmed season 2 renewal. They confirmed this before season 1 even premiered. So that's very exciting. Star Wars is set to have a big year in 2026, and not just due to the highly anticipated premiere of Maul, Shadow Lord. The franchise will return to movie theaters for the first time in 7 years with the release of The Mandalorian and Grogu, which we know, and continuation of Disney Plus series, the first premiere back in 2019. The film is currently scheduled on May 22nd, but also Darth Maul has been one of Star Wars' most intriguing characters and is now also getting a second season before the first season even starts, which is really cool that they're doing that. So,
That tells me they came in with a good plan. They're not
yep.
gonna rush through anything, and that they wanted the time and commitment that we can tell the story how we think is best.
Yeah, and even like I was thinking about this because they're stuck to a certain timeline between end of right after Order 66 and when Rebels halfway through Rebels when we meet Maul again.
Mhm.
So we know that they're
Mhm.
stuck between this timeline, but they could have a whole season that could last only a month in showtime, if that, makes
Mhm.
sense, because they could just have a short little thing, uh, which, two, all my volleyball players are jumping in now. So it's just going to be fun in practice tomorrow. Everybody who's in the chat tonight gets out of a lap tomorrow in practice. So that's a good thing.
Lucky
Yeah,
them.
look at them. They're so excited now. Watch it's going to explode now. It's going to
Every
explode.
everyone else has to do pyramid sprints,
That's
so
right. They sure do. So yeah, so they could have a whole season that could be a short period of time. It doesn't have to last a whole year. It could be a short period of time. So they could do it uh, in many seasons and still fit it into that timeline. So that's good.
yep. Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
so they're all like chatting away in here. This is very distracting. I can't handle this. This is This is awesome. I love it. All right. So that's the first news. Next news, and this was fun because I may or may not be going to Disneyland this summer. Probably yes. I'm not positively sure.
I like a
But
pobbly.
yeah, Disney eats Star Wars popcorn buckets, sippers, and more new novelties deploying soon across Disneyland. So they have a C3PO helmet, a Bantha milk, and I originally they had a Bantha popcorn bucket, but now they have a
Mhm.
Bantha sipper, which is I don't know. It still looks the same. It's still super cute, and I guess the
Perfect for
straw.
your bantha milk, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, put your Bantha milk right in that Bantha. They
Yep,
have
yep.
a new lightsaber. So explore Star Wars novelties coming soon. A popcorn cart. Oh, the locations. The Bantha sipper was first unveiled at D23, and you can find that at the popcorn cart near Star Traders, Galactic Grill's seasonal novelty, Alien Pizza Planet, Kat Saka's Kettle, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge beverage carts, also available during Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night. Limit two per person per transaction. No discounts apply. So you can only get two of those. The Banthas, oh, that was for the C3PO helmet. Bantha
Mhm.
sippers are also will be hitting the shelves on April 28th. The
Okay,
display
coming up.
the design displays the Bantha's shaggy coat and spiraling horns, even boasting built-in sound effects. Sip on your favorite chilled beverages as you stroll through Star Wars Galaxy's Edge or Tomorrowland with this new novelty. Also, two per transaction. Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader swizzle sticks. Lightsaber swizzle
Ooh.
sticks. The rechargeable lightsaber swizzle sticks can be served submerged into sodas or slushies, allowing you to showcase your light side or dark side spirit as you stir up your drink of choice. It looks a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like it looks like a lightsaber, but I don't know if I really want to. I guess you're not. I guess it's not a straw.
No, it's a stir. You use it
Just a
to
stir.
stir everything
Okay.
that's happening. Yep.
Okay, because I'm like, there's no way I'm drinking out of a lightsaber handle. That's too awkward. But
Yep.
it's just to stir up your drinks. All right.
Yep.
And then the DJ R3X, DJ Rex
DJ
mug,
Rex.
a ceramic mug, like the tiki mugs of DJ Rex. And honestly, when I first looked at it, I thought he was headless. I saw the body, but I had to, like, look harder and go, "Oh, that's his head up there." Yeah, it's a little weird.
I feel
Once you
that, yep.
see it once you see it, you're like, "Okay, I can see it," but if you can't see it, it's kinda strange. And then the Jabba sail barge bucket. So this
What a
is
perfect popcorn bucket.
yes, you can only get this at Olga's Cantina. Or no, the mug you can get at Olga's Cantina. Jabba sail barge bucket, you can get all over the place starting May 4th. Straight from the sands of Tatooine, this bucket is modeled after the lavish sail barge. It has light up elements and hidden characters. It will be a standout piece in any fan's novelty collection. So it looks huge. I'm not gonna lie, it looks enormous.
I
And
was like,
I
"That one sounds expensive."
yeah, and also very expensive. And of course, none of these tell you how much they are, but I'm sure and Disney's expensive to start with, and it's just a cheap piece of plastic, but I'm sure it's going to
Mhm.
be 60 or
With some interesting
$70.
gimmicks, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. But then, you get your first serving of popcorn free, so it's great.
There
So,
you go. So you get one serving of $70 popcorn for free.
mhm.
And then they also have they have a picture of the cat, the Loth cat, but it
Clothes
doesn't say
cat.
anything about it. Oh, the grinning. Oh, here we
Oh,
go. Where to find more Star Wars buckets and sippers. There are even more treasures and trinkets you can track down as you journey through Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and beyond. Some other fun and functional novelties like buckets and tumblers that you can currently find include the grinning Loth cat with souvenir mug, Yub Nub, the souvenir Endor mug, Yoda stainless steel tumbler, and the Tauntaun bucket. So, a
oh, it's
couple
back.
other things. Yes. So all those are back. The Yoda thing just looks like a regular cup with a picture of Yoda on it. All right. And then the Tauntaun bucket is interesting. All right. I want to see if
Rob, I
all
have
the
to tell
boys.
you, I felt a little droidist the first time I looked at this because I thought it was TC-14s had not C-3POs, and,
Okay.
so, I feel really bad out there that, I was clearly seeing the wrong droid,
Yeah, you were seeing the
and
wrong
also
droid. Yeah.
and also, like, why TC-14? Like, you show up
Right.
for 2 minutes in episode 1, and then you don't
Yeah.
exist,
And then you
so
don't exist anymore. So why you? Yeah. If the
yep.
boys are still there, in the chat, which I'm not sure if they are, but they asked me a very good question. I'm going to ask you. One of the kids
Oh,
who's
okay.
in the chat has Hassan actually asked. He said, "Who are your top 3 Star Wars characters?" And I
Ooh.
had the same result. I was like, "That's
Ooh.
tough. That's a
Ugh,
tough one." So
top 3 right now? Okay.
yeah, and I gave him 3, and then I said, but I could also throw in. Okay, he's still there, so don't worry. He's just driving.
Okay.
Don't text while you're driving. Um,
Okay, okay, gut check
yeah, exactly.
says top 3 in no particular order, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Oh, that's a good one too.
Grand Admiral Thrawn, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Ah, see, I didn't even think of Thrawn.
Oh,
Yeah.
how can you not?
So
It's
I
like,
went
honorable mention to Dooku, so
yeah, so I went with, Boba Fett because I love Boba Fett.
great
Um,
choice, yep.
and then I went with Luke and Darth Vader. Like, I was like, "Okay," but then I was like, "Oh, you also have Yoda in there." Also, like, The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian, what he's become.
Mhm.
I didn't even think of how could I not? And I said Chewbacca because, I mean, all of my names on all my apps are Chewbacca. But I didn't even think of Thrawn. He's awesome. He's so good in the books and in Rebels. So yeah, there's so many to choose from. I don't even think I could just get down to 3. Um,
This is where we see our generational difference of me picking mostly prequels and you picking mostly OGs,
yeah,
so
exactly. It goes to show our ages there. OJ Stan said she wants the DJ Rex mug, by the way. The Tiki DJ Rex mug. Okay, well, when you go to the you could have went that's not there yet. You have to go back to the park and get that, and then also get me the Bantha sipper. So there we go.
Mhm,
Deal done.
mhm.
All right, I've I think I only have one more news article, and this is about Disney's Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, okay.
Disney's Dreamlight Valley developer Gameloft seems to be teasing a new update focused on content based on the Star Wars franchise. Since launching in early access in 2022, Disney's Dreamlight Valley has featured content based on a plethora of Disney and Pixar franchises.
It's a
From
lot.
yeah, that is a
Like,
thank you.
it's a lot. There are a lot of characters in the game, so
Right, right. Well, there's a plethora of them. So yeah, it is a lot of them.
it's a great word, yeah.
Yeah. From older classics like Lady and the Tramp to more recent films like Inside Out, the cozy life sim has earned a big following, in large part due to the game's steady stream of new content. With several years worth of free and paid updates, Disney's Dreamlight Valley works in both small bursts and longer sessions. Not all games feel rewarding when you only have a brief amount of time, but it doesn't take long to fulfill a neighbor's request or knock out a few star path tasks. That's often true for life sim games, but some manage this better than others. On Twitter, the official Dreamlight Valley account shared a vague post stating that a galaxy of fun is headed your way. The language was followed by four emojis: Milky Way, lightning bolt, robot face, and shooting star. When taken together, it's pretty obvious that some kind of Star Wars content will be added to the game in the near future. Star Wars content was added to Dreamlight Valley last year, but in a limited fashion. The new content was exclusively added through the Premier Shop, including an R2D2 companion, avatar items, a house inspired by the architecture of Naboo, and more. With The Mandalorian and Grogu headed to theaters on May 22nd, it's possible that Gameloft will greatly increase the amount of Star Wars content in Disney's Dreamlight Valley. This could be through some kind of limited time event or major content update with a new realm and characters. So there we go. They don't really know if it's true. Mando and Grogu seem like the most logical additions, but lots of Star Wars characters would fit in Dreamlight Valley. Wicked the
Mhm.
Ewok, C3PO, and even Jar Jar Binks, which one of the kids on the bus, I won't say who it was because I don't want to embarrass him on podcast nationwide, but he said Jar Jar Binks was his favorite character. Uh,
Respect that. Yep.
Look, he's young. He doesn't know.
So
But
solid choice. So many good things. So.
so many, he's done so many good things.
Mhm.
Maybe he meant Darth Jar Jar from the Lego that we just
Rebuilding Galaxy.
reviewed.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
rebuilding.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Works well with the game's world while adding something new and different. Of course, characters like Scar have proven that the developers can take a good villain and make them interesting within the confines of the game's universe. In that regard, it might be fun to see how a brooding Ben Solo would interact with Disney's favorite like Buzz and Woody.
Mm.
Do you play this game? Do you have this game?
I haven't played it for a while. I played it a couple years ago. I had Xbox Game Pass, and I was into this one. I was
Okay.
playing it a lot, and the Game Pass gave me access to all the content. So super easy to do. Life Sims, hit or miss for me as I go through it. I've played a ton of the original Animal Crossing when it came out on GameCube, and could still go back to that game and really embrace it. So this was really good. I really enjoyed the build up. I enjoyed the mix of characters and how the interaction worked, the little bit of puzzles and things that you had to figure out to kind of save the realms and unlock the characters was really cool. Even the wait times for some things like growing pumpkins as one of the best ways to farm some money to buy things, it took a while.
Okay.
You had to sit and wait for things to happen as they do because you can't have that like instant, like endless supply of infinite money. And so, like, good excuses to take a break from the game was good. But it's so easy to go through. There's plenty of content to build up the friendships and things with the characters, get new characters, redecorate if that's your thing. Not my thing. I just want to pop the buildings down once and not think about it again. But there's just a lot of really nice things. They've done a good job with this game, especially like a free to play kind of access where you can kind of get it. Because I played on Game Pass. I think it's in Apple Arcade still as well with a free access inside of there. And so there's
Okay.
there's a lot that you can get without having to pay if you're already paying for one of those subscription services. But even the base game, like, plenty to enjoy inside of that one.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I never played it, so I think I might be interested in playing it, especially if they drop in some stuff. But if it gets a little too much where it's just like any of the Star Wars stuff you have to pay to get it, then it's like, okay, I don't want to pay extra for it.
And
Um,
you'll run into the hurdle too if it's like a permanent drop. If it's a new realm, typically you'd have to work through all the other realms to get yourself there.
okay,
And so, when I dropped out, I want to say there were 8 different realms that we were running through, maybe a few more. But yeah, like you had Pride Lands, you had a swamp, you had a forest, you had frozen, there was another forest, and then the beach coastline. So there's a lot of places, and there's
okay,
so many characters, which it just kind of makes it really feel endless as you can kind of go through it and figure that out. So super cool. Like if it's a simple game to pick up and play, great for kids or families to play together and
okay,
try to figure out. So yeah, worth a try.
awesome. Awesome. All right, a couple of comments. One, they said that Jar Jar Binks was his third favorite character, not his first. He doesn't
Oh,
want to be,
okay.
shamed into that. And then Olivia said that Her
I
favorite character, and I'll see if you can figure out who she's talking about. I knew who she was talking about. She said
Mhm.
Hot Pilot is her favorite character.
Yeah, it's Poe Dameron.
Oh, Dameron,
Yeah,
okay. So, yeah,
yeah.
and
I
then,
remember this conversation on Spokes.
okay, there you go. And then, I don't know which one of the players this one is, but he says Jabba is his favorite character. Jabba's a
Okay,
good
yeah.
character. He's a good bad guy. I don't know if I would put him at the favorite of all of the Star Wars characters that you could choose from, but, it's definitely a character, I will say that.
Eh,
He is
maybe one of the best laughs in the galaxy, so
yes, exactly, and, he has a son named Stinky,
mhm,
so there we go. So
and
we
a
have
pet
that.
rancor.
Yeah, and a pet rancor. Who wouldn't love to have a pet rancor?
I
All
know.
right. I'm sure because you always do your homework,
I do.
so I'm sure you have a Jedi of the week for us this week.
I do.
All right, so let's do this.
Yeah. I'm the Jedi of the week. I've been running it like I've been Yoda for a minute. Putting on a clinic with my homie Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can you feel it? On the field like a real one. Yeah.
All right, it's time for Jedi of the week. I forget what letter we're up to. I know we're in the second half of the alphabet at this point.
We are, and you would think the letter Q would be challenging, but in fact, it is not. It is not the hardest letter I have run into.
Wow,
So
there's so many Jedis with a Q as a first letter.
I was like, I've got at least two solid options, and I didn't
Right.
even have to look to see if there are more that I'm missing. So feels great. But since we are talking the beginning of Darth Maul and Maul Shadow Lord, it only made sense to talk about Master Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes.
Maul's victim,
Malls.
Qui-Gon.
Yes. The
Qui-Gon, the
reason
true
Go ahead.
yeah,
No,
the
go ahead.
reason that Star Wars exists. You're right.
Exactly, yes.
You're right.
The reason that Anakin turned out the way he did because of Qui-Gon's death.
Yes.
But tell
Oh,
us about the man before we talk about how his
man.
untimely death ruined the galaxy for 3 generations.
Everyone and beyond. Yes. Qui-Gon, the maverick of the Jedi Order, deep in this line of like chaotic things that come from training inside of the Jedi, because it goes Yoda to Dooku to Qui-Gon to Obi-Wan to Anakin. It's like, what a mess. And we haven't even continued past that. Um, Qui-Gon stayed out of the politics. He stayed out of the rigid dogma of the Jedi Order. He just believed in the living force and everything on it. He was all about the here, the now, the present. He believed in instincts, and he was so compassionate for everyone in front of him. And so like he just didn't get lost in what could be. Instead it was what is, and let's figure it out. And so one of the many reasons that he kept on saying no thank you to sitting on the Jedi Council, just kept doing it. So
Yep.
but thanks to his connection and attunement to the living force, he was the first Jedi in a millennium to recognize the return of the Sith. When Darth Maul showed up on Tatooine and later on Naboo, Qui-Gon knew exactly what it was. Qui-Gon was down to business to take care of it. And it was a big deal, which, as we mentioned, culminated in our Duel of the Fates. The fate being decided for Anakin Skywalker, even though we kind of associate that song with Darth Maul too, which is why it shows up in the show later. But that's for a later conversation. I'm getting myself. We lose the father figure for Anakin by Qui-Gon
Mhm.
getting killed by Darth Maul. Instead, we lose the guidance and we get a brother. And so that death blow really just set the whole world apart.
Yep. That was it. That was between that and Jar Jar being easily manipulated by Palpatine into doing all of his bidding for him. Yeah, so Qui-Gon, and then also like I'm trying to think
He
how
figured
long
he figured
ago
out the Forced Ghost business too. We
he
can't forget to
did.
mention that
Yes,
one.
he
So
did figure
big
that out.
deal.
It was like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, when he came out and said that he felt that Qui-Gon died rather poorly for a Jedi of his caliber.
Mhm,
He shouldn't have
mhm.
been chopped down so bad. Um, but yeah. So Qui-Gon, I'm glad you went with him because he's obviously the favorite Jedi with the Q letter for a first name.
Yeah.
So he was awesome. But yeah, good old Qui-Gon Jinn. I did. Oh, you went too fast on the film for us. Too fast. But yes, because of your death, you ruined Star Wars. It could have just been a nice, peaceful land.
It would've.
It
Yep.
would have been
And then it
happy.
and then if Jar Jar didn't give power to Palpatine, we could have
Yeah,
had other good things happening too. So,
yeah, but whatever. Yes, Jar
who's the
Jar.
real villain?
Who's the real villain here? Jar Jar's a bad guy because he was manipulated in the chat there. But yes, all right.
Mhm.
So that's the end of Jedi of the Week. We are going to hit a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back with our rundown. Give me the rundown of the little show called Maul Shadow Lord. Once I find my notes. Oh, yeah. I don't need this anymore. Where are my notes? New tab. Nope. Come on. All right. Okay. I got all my notes. I don't know how many notes you have. So, uh, as always, interrupt me as much as you can
I sure will.
because I'm just gonna I have a kind of like a rundown from start to finish. And then
Okay.
if I missed anything or if I like graze over anything, stop me and be like, wait, you forgot about all this part. So
Perfect. Yeah, I have more notes of thoughts, less of plot. So I
okay.
will hop in with my details when it makes sense.
I love it. All right. And I hope you bought that product because it's really good and it works really well. My cat loves it. So I think you should get whatever that was because it obviously was for cats. Um James, do
I
your
don't have
cats
cats, so I
you
can't
don't have
endorse it.
cats?
So
Okay.
Nubs is
All
the
right.
closest thing I got to a cat, and
There you
Nub
go.
just stares.
Just stares off. Yeah, it doesn't really help much.
Mindless, endless stare.
Yes. All right. So first off, the cast real fast, interestingly enough, Sam Witwer is back as Maul. He is awesome. He does such a
So
great job.
amazing.
Yeah, he does such a great job as Maul. His
He is the chosen one of the Star Wars
yeah.
franchise. So
He loves playing Maul and he like really embraces it, which is really cool. Uh the guy who played Luti Vero, um he's the little Weasley of the crime lords, I guess the one that was in the suit
okay,
was played by Chris, I can't even say his last name, Diamantopoulos, who was in The Office. He was the camera guy in The Office and then went on to play in a whole bunch of other things after that. But he started as a camera guy in The Office and then
oh, that's
actually got a
fun.
little bit of screen time. So I thought that was funny that he's the voice. There's a couple other faces that I recognize. Dennis Haysbert plays Master Iko Diodaka. And he was in a bunch of things also. He was in Far From Heaven 24 as President David Palmer. So I don't know if you saw 24 back in the day.
I did not.
Mm, Meet the Press, Summer Camp. Um, he was Zipper in Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. Uh,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, so he's been in a bunch of things. Richard Iotti, he's like the Australian guy. He's got the weird accent. He was Two
Mhm.
Boots, the one
The
droid.
droid partner.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was pretty funny. I did like picking up on him. And also Rook Cast, who is the female Mandalorian in the red suit
Yeah.
female Mandalorian. She was played by Vanessa Marshall. She reprises her role of Rootcast, and she has I wrote down she's been in IMDb. She has guess how many credits she has in IMDb?
Just two. She's just recast.
Nope, go the other way. I'll give you a hint. It's more than 200.
Oh gosh.
255. 200. I gave you the answer.
Oh,
Yeah, 255.
okay.
All like voice acting. So many voice acting. But she was in Mr.
Incredible.
Beats lab as Shadow Coil. I'm guessing three different things. So I'm
Sure.
thinking she was a voice thing in that as well. But not only
Sure.
was she root cast before, but she was in Star Wars Tales of the Underworld as mother and news reporter.
Oh, that's fun.
And she was in Crapopolis as Iris. I don't know if you watched Crapopolis, but that was a
Did
pretty funny
not
show.
know.
And going all the way down to Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, she was Master Swylin, S Sylwin, Win,
Master
Swin,
Sylvan.
Master
Sylvan.
Silwyn. Yes, there you go. She was in, and then of course this is what the one that I was like, what? She was this also. She was also Hera Syndulla in the Bad Batch and in Rebels.
Oh,
So yeah, so
okay.
she has multiple roles in Star Wars. I would love to see a Star Wars episode where she just talks to herself the entire time.
What a great time.
Yeah. So there's a couple other faces, whatever, but those are like the ones that like really popped out to me. So
Sure. Yep.
this starts on a brand new planet called Janix, right?
Yes.
After the
Yeah.
first galactic empire was declared. And the very
Yeah.
first scene that we see here, the Mandalorians are attacking uh, a credit, a house of credits, I guess. I don't know, like a bank, not really a
It's basically
bank.
a bank.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
but a
bank, I
bank for
guess.
criminals.
Yeah, a
So
criminal bank.
And
So they're attacking.
this just checks out so much
Yeah.
because one of the great comparisons that we got from this is like people like this is so much like the Dark Knight in that whole Batman series, which I'm like it's pretty funny that like the first
Yes.
episode is like the Dark Revenge, and so it's like oh that's a funny nod to it because Dark Knight movie starts with the Joker leading a bank heist in disguise, and so now we got these crime people leading a bank heist to kind of do some of that, and comparing Janix to Gotham City is such a good comparison.
Yes, that
So,
is a great comparison because and now that you say that, it's all run by crime lords. Like everything that we've seen so far in these two episodes, there's 5 or 6 different crime lords that we've seen already.
yep.
So, and even the police, how good are the police? Because the police obviously are taking bribes and taking money from the crime lords to leave them alone. So yeah, so it's very interesting. But yes, this was the only thing that was different with this and what the Joker did is the Joker told each of his henchmen that they had to kill the other guy
Yeah,
uh
when they weren't useful.
when they weren't useful anymore, which was an awesome
Nah,
task at hand there.
yep.
But
So a
yes,
little different now.
a
So
little different, yeah. So they're robbing the place, and then as they're robbing it, the new ship comes down, which is super cool. Um, it reminded me a lot of the ship in, and I wrote it down, and now I can't find it. Uh, what was the show with the kids? The one that just came out. Um,
oh, Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. The ship in Skeleton Crew, when it had all the armor on it, its jets were red and fiery and
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
staticky almost. And then when it blew off all the armor, then it was blue again. And these jets were the same way. They're that red staticky jets, and there was a lot of armor on it. It looked really cool. And then Maul comes out, kind of like the way Kenobi came out in one of the movies.
Yes, and
It was
Mustafar. Yep.
and yeah, it
Very
was
similar.
very similar, and, they, he just takes over. He just destroys. His lightsaber's awesome, the everything and going backwards, the art was so cool, like, the way
Yeah.
it looked like paintings coming to life. And at some points, it looked super realistic. So the animation was awesome. I was
Yeah,
very, very impressed.
for no other reason to watch this show, it is the visual production that is so good. It is definitely the best animation we've seen out of any of this. It's still reminiscent enough of it, but reading a little bit about how they did this of like actually painting physical brush strokes on glass and scanning them into the digital environment makes it
Yeah.
pretty. They're using matte paintings for backgrounds to kind of help do a lot of that. And then there's just a lot of great use of like lights and particular shadows, which I would hope it's Shadow Lord is in the title that we're really using that. But it's just so good. And if this
Yes.
is what it's gonna be throughout, it's just gonna be an iconic look.
Yeah. It looks so good. Like it doesn't look cartoony at all. And even if it
Mm,
does look cartoony, which it doesn't, it's still a good story on top of it. So,
yes.
but this animation is just amazing. And the movements, everybody's movement is so crisp and so clean. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's really, really cool. When they zoomed in on Maul's blade, it was, sparkly the way, uh,
Yep.
um, Kylo Ren's blade was, where it
Mhm.
wasn't like solid, but
It's a little
then
unstable,
a little
yeah.
unstable. Yeah, that's the word for it. And then he did the same thing again, where he let out the one side first, and then he let out the other side, and then bam, bam, he was all over
Mhm.
the place. So good. So he's got a bunch of Mandalorians with him because they followed him even after. This is after he was held the dark saber. This time has passed, right? Am I correct in that assumption that this is after that time?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
because this is one of the biggest troubles of this show is you have to know a lot of the backstory to follow along with a lot of things to really get the most out of it. Probably my biggest complaint about this one. But yes, so this is after his fight with Sidious where he was captured. Death Watch, one of the sects from Mandalorian that's more extreme, still followed him, broke him out, and that's where he was able to start leading some of that. So these extremists are the Mandalorians that are still following Maul,
Right.
even though
Okay.
his shadow collective has fallen apart of all the crime
Yes.
syndicates.
Yeah, so that's right. He told them all to go into hiding, and some of them decided we're not going to go into hiding. We're just going to keep running our own sections of this without you. We don't need you anymore. And that's
Yep.
basically where he's going now. Is he's going back, getting revenge and all that stuff, taking down the leaders who refuse to follow him. Those that
Mhm.
will follow him again, he's just going to take them under his wing. Those that don't, he's just going to pick up whatever's left over and take them under his tutelage anyway. So
Yep.
his goal is just to get back what he once deserved and once had. Um, so this is
I mean,
beginning.
his goal is to take down Sidious. Like
Yes,
we
that is
don't want
that
to
is
sell
his
that
main
short,
goal. Yes, because
but
he's
to get there.
right. He needs to do this. So he's got
Yep.
some Mandalorians who are still following him, all
Yep.
in red to match his red face. Um,
Yep.
some of them even have horns on their helmet, and then he has some other Zabreks with him. Which I was wondering at first if they were going to be related to him, but I don't think they are. They're just who's left from his planet after his planet and his mother was killed by
All that.
Sidious,
Yep.
and all of that other death that took place on that planet. These are who wants the same revenge that he wants, so they're all following
Mhm,
him.
mhm.
So yeah, so we get the droids that are loading the credits. The detectors they throw ion emitters at the droids, which is apparently the only thing that can stop droids from working are ion emitters.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
and
Pretty cool to
then
mix those into daggers as a new weapon, so that
yeah,
was neat to see.
yeah, not just attacking the entire ship, but then little daggers to go right into the droids.
Mhm, mhm.
The little disc droid, he was fun. His little
S
spy
Spy
droid.
bot
Yeah, his little
is
spy bot.
so great. I was, like, looking at this thing, I'm like, "It looks like Cad Bane, and people like it's just like that little like almost monocle eye of just
Yeah,
making
with
it
the one
seem like
eye.
it's always watching. What a joy this robot is. This
Yeah,
Spybot's gonna compete with Chopper for me. I have a good feeling.
I
So
think so too because he definitely has a lot of personality. Um,
mhm.
Batteries not included. So there was a 1987 movie, and Ryan Airy compared it to called Batteries Not Included. It was a
Yes, it sure
Steven Spielberg
was.
movie. And in it there was a little robot space UFO that comes down and is following the people around and stuff like that. I remember it from 1987, but it's been so long since I've watched it, I don't remember anything. But Ryan Airy from Screen Crush compared it to the little droid or the little UFO from Batteries Not Included. He said it looks a
Mhm,
lot like that as
mhm.
well. But I do like the Cad Bane comparison as well. So yes, it could be a combination of both of them. So then the police see the crime going down and they respond. The one guy looked like he was eating Chinese food. Um, and then he puts down his helmet and they start to go in. The alarm is the same alarm that's in A New Hope when it's the proximity alarm in A New
Mhm,
Hope.
mhm.
That's when we see Maul arrive. Um, and then it goes right into the intro credits, which is pretty fun. So this is the Dark Revenge. So we know that Maul is threatening the crime lords and telling him that they have abandoned their oath um, to him. And that's when we meet, then in hiding, we meet two Jedi, Devin Azaria and Master Iko Diodaka. Uh,
Pico Diodaki, I think maybe, but
Daki,
yeah,
Daki, yeah, Daki. There we go.
it's a name.
It is a name. It is a name. And it was interesting, these two. I was a little confused in the beginning. I was like, are they Jedi? Are they not? Who are these people? What are they going to do? How are they coming into
Mhm.
this? Um, and Devin, you can see she's not liking this hiding aspect of it because she's getting hungry, and Master Eco is like, "Look, people take care of other people," and then he goes and asks somebody for help, and they just basically were like, "Go away, you homeless
Nope.
vagabond, leave me alone." Um,
Yeah. I find this so interesting because at first I was kind of sweating the idea of like another animated series that's going to have like a kid in it because Devin is definitely young. You know, we
yes,
had Omega and Bad Batch and stuff, but this start has made me buy into it because you get that like rebellious kind of teenager fighting this and this clear like division of philosophy of like where the Jedi are, where they need to be going,
hmm
and it's like I could just use the force and I could get us two of these little pieces of fruit and we wouldn't be so hungry. And nope, instead we'll just try to follow the old ways and just be humiliated because
yeah,
people don't know or respect the Jedi anymore.
yeah. So it is going to be a very interesting battle that they're going to be having emotionally and morally with each other.
I'm
Um,
terrified for the red flags of like death that seem to be surrounding
oh,
her Jedi Master. And I'm like, that could be a moment that we're just
mhm,
waiting for. This guy who's fighting with a lead pipe instead of a lightsaber.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and the fact that even later on when Maul says to her like, "You're not a prisoner. You can go anytime you want to."
mhm.
He keeps tempting her. I thought he was going to capture her and torture her into becoming his assistant the way
Yeah.
he was tortured. But I think he's going to just be showing her how much more powerful she can become by using the dark side of the force as opposed to the Jedi side. And
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see if she does turn and become a bad guy or not, or if she
Yeah.
does stay good. So that'll be good to watch as it goes on. I hope she doesn't, but
I hope
eh,
we get to explore a gray area of a little bit of both.
yes, that would be good if she because it seems like that's the new thing is the gray Jedi, with Ahsoka and then um
Mhm.
later on with I guess in the Ahsoka series then with where she's training a traditionally non-Jedi and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So it's definitely going to be interesting to see if we get more gray Jedi with this. So
Yep.
she then does go and try and steal the fruit because she is hungry and he says don't do it because it leads you to the dark side. She steals it anyway, and then she bangs into a police droid, and the food falls out, and they arrest her. And Master Iko Dio says, don't resist, don't fight it, just go
Make
with
a
it,
scene. Yep.
don't make a scene, because they easily could have gotten out of there with a little lightsaber action, a little force action, and jumping, and been gone. But then it would have drawn the attention to them that he didn't want.
Yep.
Um, so she gets taken into custody. Then we meet two
I
more.
thought it I thought it was pretty compelling before you get there that she
Yeah.
gave up her robes to him. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if that's, like, a good indication of her, like, giving up some of the Jedi ways with things, or, like, a promise that she'll find him again, or something of that, and maybe that's just me wanting to read into something,
Yeah.
but I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. It would be interesting how important the robes are to the Jedi.
Mhm.
Um, so that is interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens as we go on with that. So that's a good catch there, my friend. Very good catch.
Thank you.
So then we go and we meet two more crime lords. And we find out Maul's plan. He says there were many who prospered from my misfortune, and they will pay. Uh, he starts a gang war to get each of them to think the others did it.
Revenge, revenge,
Revenge.
revenge, revenge. That is Maul's only character trait apparently is
It is.
revenge.
That's all he knows is revenge. Um, so he he gets them to to fight each other, and he's also looking for an apprentice that Devin might fill. I already said that. Then we see Devin in the police station when Lawson, the cop, the human cop, tells her she's like being processed by the droids, and she's being a little resistant. She's like, I'm not telling you my name, I don't care,
Oh,
whatever. And then he's like, come on over here, kid. So that's when he meets her. It is interesting that everybody that has come to his desk has touched that baseball that's on his desk.
I
Um,
believe it's a shock ball
a
is what it's
shock ball.
called.
Oh, it's from his lacrosse, the kid's lacrosse game
The
that he
kid plays
plays.
shock ball. Yep.
Shock ball, yes. So, everybody touches that shock ball. They have the picture. He has the picture there that they had the same picture in the house that we see later
Mhm.
on of him, his wife, and the kid. And once again, this is the same good old policeman's trope that he works too hard at his job. He has no time for his family and his kid, and everything else. Nothing else matters. Just work. Um,
Which is it's so hard to watch, like, the little bit that we got to see of their interaction, it's like, you can tell that he loves his kid and wants to figure the connection out,
right.
but his job keeps coming
Yep.
first, and that's it's a tried trope, of course, but at least
Mhm.
there's something kind of interesting about it, and gives him a little bit of, like, footing in the story.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So we'll see where that goes with it, and also like how yeah, and we see as we go on, we'll see more of this, but like he doesn't want to bring the empire in yet to this to what's happening because he knows that once he brings the empire in, all heck is going to break loose and the empire is just going to take over everything and he's trying to avoid that as much as he can. I wonder how much he's trying to avoid it for himself versus for the integrity of the police force because if they come in then they're going to start asking questions like who's on the payroll of all these guys type of thing and
Mhm.
whatever. So we're going to see how dirty he is or how clean he is. But I
Yeah, and I
feel
I
like it.
find I find this so compelling because it's like, it is the only thing giving this show some real urgency right now is
Mhm.
how long can he hold out before the Empire comes in, and exactly like you said, will take over and never give control back. They'll
Yeah.
install Moffs or governors. They'll run everything. It'll be troopers instead of local police, which I think are fantastic because I played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for a long time. There was always a joke character, of course, on Underworld Police because he just wasn't that good, but you got him pretty early. And it is like that exact same look that they have for the police. So I'm like, there is a style or there is like a corporate security company that just makes these and pumps them out for everyone. But but yeah, like I'm thinking about like the last season of Andor with or whatever world that they were on,
Yeah.
of, like, they don't want the Empire to show up there because
No.
it's gonna mess up their way of life, and, so I get that. I get exactly what he's going for because my gut says it's like, "Are you a good, like, planet
Yeah.
that's going with the Empire?" But it's only been a year since Order 66, so you
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, and they're also they seem to be a smaller planet, so the Empire doesn't really care too much about them yet. And
Mhm.
as long as you can keep the attention off of you for as long as possible, then it's better that way. And I think he's just
Yeah.
trying to keep the attention off of him for as long as possible.
Solve his own problems, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So then we see Maul in a hologram while he's in the police station, and he called it a laser sword, and he says I haven't seen one of those since the Clone Wars, which is funny because George Lucas's old interviews he called them laser swords also.
Mhm, mhm.
And then the Auerbesh written on Maul's files was it translates into classified, so he's not able to see because Maul is, criminal number one, criminal whatever,
Pretty
biggest
much,
baddie.
yeah.
Yeah, number one that everybody wants to find. So
Yep.
um then there's a meeting between Lundivaro and Nicodemus. Lundi is the one in the robot suit. I said he looked a little funny to me. Uh,
Is incredible.
I was
Yeah.
like I knew he was smaller than his body showed, and then they greeted each other with the toast of Chuba and then Chubasa. So I don't know what that means, but Chuba to you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
Chewbacca.
Chubasa. So they're having a meeting and they're talking about what's happening and how somebody else already has disappeared or whatever, and then Maul programs the banking droid to say that Demas was the one who killed him. They deliver the banking droid's head, what would be looks like a C-3PO droid, and he
Mhm.
just keeps saying Demas, 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 Demas. So then they start a big fight right there in the office, gunfight ablazing. Everybody's shooting each other, and this is what Maul wants: is just revenge. He wants these guys to take each other out, so that
Yep.
way he can avenge. He can take over their syndicates or whatever you want to call
And
them.
this is so cool because I know I was joking earlier of Maul is only revenge, but
Hmm.
this is like character growth because he is using what Sidious used on the world on a global scale of pitting people against each other. And now he's doing it. So like he's getting smarter. He's got some logic in what he's doing. It's not just like brute force revenge, let me at them. And I love this.
Yeah, yeah. It was very Batman esque, like something like you said that the Joker would do, where he would have Two Face and the Riddler like facing off and thinking that each other is after their stuff when it's actually the Joker who's after their stuff. So yeah, so I do like that Batman analogy a lot. Um, and then they go back to the police station scene, and the one robot cop brings over a cup of coffee to what the heck's his name? To
Lawson.
yeah, and they're both drinking coffee, and he's like, I can't drink this for real. I'm just doing this just to hang out with you type of thing."
I laughed out loud at this. I think this might be my favorite moment from this, but also I don't know if I can truly say that, but it's like, "Two Boots, I love you. I love you
Yeah,
so much for just being like, I'm just doing this to be part of it."
I'm just trying to be a cop. This is what I'm doing. It's kind of like what
Mhm.
what AI would do now if AI in a robot form would say, "Oh, people like to sit around and drink coffee, so I'm going to sit around and drink coffee." That's definitely what they would do. And
It's such a good cop moment. I love it.
yeah, and as that's happening, we see Master Iko Dio Daki,
Mhm.
whatever.
Docky, I think?
Daki, he's sitting outside in the rain, making sure his Padawan is okay inside when he senses something bad, which he senses is Maul breaking into the police station because he's trying to get out Ludi, who was captured after the gunfight. Uh, and in the process, as he's in there, Lawson and Maul fight in a hallway. There's a lot of hallway fighting in Star Wars.
I like to call it the Malway
The
fights.
Malway
So,
fights, yeah, yeah, Maul's
yep,
good at that, so I
yeah,
think this is, Malway fight probably 7 or 8 that we've seen in all of
there's
cart
a
all
lot.
the cartoons.
There's a lot.
There's so they're fighting in the hallway, and Maul could easily have killed, Lawson, but he didn't, and Maul breaks into the cells, and he's got the lightsaber or laser sword, up
Mhm.
against Ludi's face when he says, "I can get you to Krim," which is the Pike Syndicate leader, which is what Maul's next step is. "Okay,
The
I got you 2
magic
guys." The
words.
magic words. And then as you do it, Maul's shadow goes over Devin, who's in the other jail cell at the end of the scene. And this is the first time you hear his name the entire show is when she
Mhm.
says it. She says Maul.
And I was so glad that they're using shadows more and more, like having the
Yes.
shadow over her face. It's like if he's called the shadow, if
Yep.
he built out the shadow collective, if we're calling the show Shadow Lord, I want Light and Shadow to be such a prominent thing throughout all of this. And that's like the slap in the face of like, if you haven't figured it out, here it is. Here he's stepping in and trying to take over. So,
Yeah. And it's so far awesome. So that's how
mhm,
episode 1 ends. Episode 2 is called Sinister Schemes. So obviously he has more than one sinister scheme, which we see what they
mhm.
are. So the prison escape, he escapes, he breaks them out, and it was funny. The droid commandeers a trash truck to follow the
Yeah,
bad guys, which is
whatever works.
and it was great. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll get you something." And he just jumps off the edge, and then he's like, "I need this," and he takes over the trash truck. But he also says, "I've smelled worse." So
Yeah.
now apparently droids can smell also.
I like
Um,
to think he's just continuing to try to be relatable, but
well, that's fine with me. If he does that, that's good. And then so then Maul and his 2 escape vehicles fly out. They go down on the roads, which is very similar to Rebels style spaceships. They had other ones in the sky, but for whatever reason, they had road also. So they're flying along the roads, and they're just like, "We're a tank, and I don't care, and we're just busting through everybody." They weren't even trying to hide. Like they probably, if they
no.
would have slowed down, they probably could have got away with it. But instead, they were just like, "We're busting through."
Yep.
And as they're doing that, Master Dio Wiko Wako is
Ego Diodaki.
Dio Daki is standing on top of a bridge, and he's waiting and waiting. And it reminded me of who was the blind?
Chirrut,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
100% like a Chirrut.
like
Yep.
a Chirrut move. He just waited and then just jumped down and with his lead pipe smashed it into the ground a little bit. the the cars, whoa, watch out, oh no, there's somebody there. We had no problem running over vehicles, but we couldn't run over. Now maybe he used the force also to make them not go
I'm
further,
guessing some of it.
but
So
but then they
I thought he was just gonna use the force to like stop the thing, not literally like flip it over the
flip
top
it
of
over.
him. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Big crash, they're flying all over the place. His Padawan gets out, and she's about to run free, but she gets grappling hooked, and then she can't leave, which
Yep.
the Mandalorians have all of these tricks to fight the Jedi, and
They
grappling hooks are one of the
do.
big ones.
Yep.
Um, and then as that's going on, the police show up also, and while Maul looks like he is outmanned, he turns around and goes, I'm going to cause a distraction. I'm going to break this bridge behind me that has civilians on it. So that bridge starts to break. People start to fall, and Master Iwo Diko stops it, starts pushing it up, and the cop is like, "You okay?" I'm like, "What are you gonna do if he's not okay? Like, you can't go help
Do
him
you
at all.
realize he's a Jedi?
Do
Is
you
like
realize what's
do
going
is
on?"
or is he not put it together that it's like a Jedi
Yeah,
using the force to try to save the bridge?
yeah. I was a little confused as to which it was, if he was that confused or not.
Yeah.
But then they took the trash truck up. Everybody was able to jump onto the trash truck, and they was able to release the ship or release the bridge again. But in the
Yep.
meantime, Maul manages to escape. and he gets
Cl-
away.
Classic like trolley problem thing, right? Like
Yep.
save the people or catch me. You got to make the choice.
Mhm.
And
Which is it gonna be?
yep,
Um,
and it's gonna be saving people.
then we have a scene with Lawson and his son. I don't want to say this was a throwaway episode or a throwaway scene, but it's giving you a little bit of how, like you said, Lawson loves his kid. You can tell he loves his kid, but his work is taking up so much time. He forgot to bring him Chick-fil-A home for dinner and
Yeah, there's just
whatever.
more space pizza boxes or
Just
whatever sitting on
I
the
did
counter.
I did like the space pizza boxes.
Oh, I loved it.
I wanted to look at the Auerbash that was written on it and see what it said, if
Uh-huh.
it said pizza or not. That would've been awesome,
Yeah.
but it was that was pretty funny, this space pizza boxes.
Yeah. I
And
think we're
then
gonna get a lot of Lawson in the show and, like, him being, like, the lone, like, good character outside of, Master Daki. It's like,
yeah,
I think we need that grounding and that, like, confusion of, like, how he fits in the world. So, I think we need a lot of this tension in his life so he's not just an overworking cop.
right, which is will be good because I'm sure we're gonna see his estranged wife again at some point. She's gonna yell at him that
Yep.
he's always at
Yep.
work, and he's like, "You don't understand. I'm hunting down this guy who used to be a Sith," and she's like, "Yes, but your son scored 7 goals in shock ball
Oh,
yesterday, and you weren't there for it."
yeah.
So, so now, uh, I wrote down Rena Saul. I don't know why I wrote that down, but all right. Maul now wants to kill the Pike Krim, and Varro will help him because he says, "Yes, I'm gonna help you out here." So he's like, "I can get you to Krim." So he sets up a meeting with Krim. Turns out to be not Krim, but his like number one assistant. Um,
Yeah.
and then Devon's locked up in the cage, and she keeps calling herself a prisoner. Maul says she is not a prisoner. She is only following the Jedi way, which is imprisoning herself. And also, she can get herself out anytime she wants. And I thought she kind of tried a little bit. I thought she was going to break the lock with the Force on the
Yeah, that's what I
front
was
side.
expecting too.
Yeah. And it like wiggled a little bit, but then she figured out that she could push out the back wall and get out of there. But so it'll be interesting because she does
It's a
escape.
Again, more growth. You're only stuck in here because the Jedi have indoctrinated you to it. It's something, opposite of what Yoda would say, but still in the same style of it, of like, these are the chains that are on you. You can break free. You can do it.
Yeah, if you want to do it, you can do it. You don't have to be chained up here. Um, so then the Pike ship is hijacked by the little Cad Bane round droid.
Spybot, we love
Spybot.
them.
He's so awesome. He's like in the back hacking away, and
Uh-huh,
he's the
uh-huh.
little noises he makes is funny too, which is
It's
awesome
great.
because you can,
He like kind of talks.
yeah. He doesn't say full words, but he's almost there. He's like, "Bop, bop, 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 bop," and you can totally tell that he's having fun doing all these bad things that he's doing. He's like loving it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and then so he gets it to land on this other planet, and as they do, all the Mandalorians are there waiting for him, and they all attack. And then Spybot then also hacks the ship so that all the credits come out of the bottom, and he steals all the credits. And Maul fights the captain of the ship, but he refuses to give in and refuses to say, like, I'll join you, or I'll tell you where Krim is or anything like that. He's like, I will die for this. And then Maul said, sure. And he killed him.
Yep.
So then, I last two things I have down that says Lawson is a cop who could be a little dirty or a good guy. It'll be interesting to see which way it goes.
And I think we get more of that because I think probably the thing you wrote down, like Rena Sue or whatever you were trying to think of, was the person that he met at the nightclub, because that was
Yes.
Sue. The
Yes.
because they were super flirty with each other. So
They were very flirty. Yeah. And
clearly,
clearly something was going on there, and clearly because she even said, I'm free for dinner.
yeah,
So he's obviously going down a bad path there with her.
because
Um
they're saying it'll cost you, and he's saying I'll pay whatever.
Yeah,
And she talks about not getting involved in the Shadow Collective, but still knowing because she's still connected. So yeah,
right.
super morally gray again.
Yeah, so there we go. Like she's telling him all about everything. And all she wants is dinner out of it. So
Yep.
yeah, so that's going to be another extra angle. How many times he goes back to her as well. And then I also wrote down at the end that Maul tempts Devon to the dark side rather than torching her into it. So she does escape,
Mhm.
and it'll be interesting to see when their paths crisscross again, because obviously they're going to
You
crisscross
know they
again,
will. Yep.
and if she starts to see his ways as the right ways, or what happens with that. But that's what I have for the first 2 episodes so far. Did I miss anything else in there?
I think you got the plot and the major beats. I just have two other big picture thoughts, I think. And that's I'm glad this is working so well. This darker, like noir style is
Hmm.
pretty cool. It feels great. It feels like it fits right with the universe and just keeps on proving Star Wars can be anything you want it to be, especially when you have good animation, good music, and a story that needs to be told.
The music, by the way, is amazing, and it's and
Yeah.
it's very a lot of throwback, not full on throwback, but a lot of similar music to
Yeah.
previous times that we've seen Maul and previous times that we've seen different scenes with Maul and things like that. So that is really cool that they are touching back into it, changing it a little bit, but keeping it going. So that is really cool.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
And then I'm not sure how I feel about it being so serialized. I knew they warned us it was going to be, but
okay.
it's like 10 episodes that's going to feel like it should have been a movie maybe, and I have a harder time with that. I felt like the ending of episode 2 was so abrupt
Yeah.
that like I'm just like I don't feel great about it. I'm ready to just keep on enjoying it
Mhm.
as we go through it. And clearly it's working. You know, Rotten Tomatoes has it as 100% on
Yes.
the tomato meter right now.
Yes,
So,
the critics review at this point is 100% critics review, and like I think maybe 98% or maybe 100% as fan review as well. Um
and Disney did give out to a lot of like the influencers and reviewers the first 8 episodes.
yeah,
So,
oh, that's even
so it's
better.
not like it's just blind at this point for a lot of them. So I think that's going to lead to good feelings about how the rest of this is going to go. Granted, we won't know the conclusion, and they don't know the conclusion until we get there of how we're going to deal with this world navigating, trying not to go on the Empire's thumb, but still having all of these huge problems to go with it. But they've
Yes.
made good, interesting characters already to fill the world, have us go with it. So we're not just going to constantly have Maul, as I've read it described, aura farming everywhere that we go. But that might mean a little less screen time for Maul, but we'll see what that means.
Right. Yeah. And like you said, episode 1 ended and episode 2 just started right up after it. And like you said, with episode 2 stopping so quickly and so abruptly, it's like, okay, now I have to wait a whole week for the next 2 episodes. Um, would it have been better if it was just a whole movie or whatever? But this is what they're doing with the streaming now is these, and it was like 20.
It
I
was
want to say like
28 minutes and 22 minutes
yeah, and that's with credits.
with
So take
credits and
away the
opening. So,
credits, it's
yep.
a little bit lower than that. So it could
And
have
I think
easily
that's
been
what the rest of the season's going to be too, is just these 22 minutes. So,
yeah.
but we
So
get
you
season two. So,
right, exactly. So far it's been 40 minutes, and we have so yeah, it could be a 3 hour movie, and it would have been fine. But this way we have more to talk about, so that's fine.
it's true.
Yeah. So, so I think we've done enough talking for one night. I'm happy
Mhm.
so many of our friends joined us in the chat tonight if they're still there. Thank you for chatting it up with us and commenting about how much they love Star Wars and check out Maul because it is a good show. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's that.
And then come back next week and we'll talk more.
Yes, more Maul next week. More Maul next week. So okay. So with that being said, from all of us here at Bantha Milk Podcast headquarters in both New Jersey and Wisconsin. We have spoken.
We have spoken.
Good night, everybody.